Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Sorry it's been so long since I last recorded. It started off by me initially wanting to stream at my friend's place, but ended up not doing that, and then I forgot my mic over there, so I had to wait for our schedules to align for me to pick it back up. And then I had issues with my throat. It was painful to talk, so I was waiting on that to heal. And then it was my father's 50th birthday. He lives really far away, so I went over there, visited for about a week, and now I'm back and able to record. My apologies for being so long, and yeah. Anyways, real quick, I figured since I've spoken so much on Red Eyes cards, the good, the bad, and how they interact with one another, I figured I would do a video of just simply ranking all of them, making a sort of tier list of all the different Red Eyes cards and seeing how they all fare. Order this chronologically, so let's get straight into it. Starting off, of course, with the one, the only, the OG Red Eyes Black Dragon. Yeah, he's a vanilla normal monster. No, sorry. You can rank him one of two ways. You can either say he's a vanilla normal monster that's level 7, does absolutely nothing, and out of the original 3, he had the lowest attack points, or you could say he's a necessity for the entire deck and put him in A tier. He's still kind of bricky to draw at all, let alone multiples, so I wouldn't put him in S. You can rank him either of the two ways. However, since there's obviously going to be those people that are going to skip to the end of the video, I'd much rather them, not skip to the end of the video and be like, you put Rise in F tier, you buffoon! So I'd rather them see it in A tier. Now, I know there's people that are going to skip to the end of the video and be like, you put Red Eyes in A tier, you dumb poo-poo head! Would you put Gemini Garnet in A tier? No, I didn't think so! Anyways, continuing on, we got Red Eyes Black Skull Dragon. Obviously F tier, it's a vanilla monster, it does literally nothing. And then the only card that's going to go below those fusion monsters, Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon is actively detrimental to your health to summon this, as Red Eyes equipped with Metamorph is better than Black Metal Dragon. Like, it's 100 more attack points on your opponent's turn, but whenever this attacks your opponent's monster, Red Eyes equipped with Metamorph, it gains half of the opposing monster's attack points, so it goes up to a lot of attack points, which Black Metal Dragon doesn't have that effect, so I don't know why you would ever summon this card. It's just funny to, unironically, be able to, in an open game state, grab your deck and just start panning through it, legally, in which to find this card to summon it. So, you know, there is that. Anyways, Black Chick's Dragon or Red Eyes Black Chick, whichever you prefer. F tier. It's the first, actual support card, but, it just tributes itself to summon Red Eyes from the hand specifically, so it's not too great. Inferno Fire Blast. The entire burn build is, based around this card, so I kind of have to put it high up. It's a lot of damage. It really is a lot of damage, so, yeah. Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, it's a really big beater, so, I mean, I'll throw it down there. Against 300 for each Dragon-type monster in your graveyard, it's not bad, it's not great. It special summons itself by tributing Red Eyes Black Dragon, so it's okay. The cards that wouldn't go into an actual Red Eyes deck, I'll still, tier, but in correlation with their own deck. So Red Eyes Zombie Dragon is going to be F tier, because no way in this day and age are you playing a main deck Goyo Guardian, let alone back in the day. It has to destroy specifically a zombie monster, which is obviously meant to be paired with Zombie World, which whenever you do that, it's just Goyo Guardian summons the monster to your side of the field. It doesn't get an attack or anything. You can summon it by tributing a singular zombie-type monster, so whatever. Red Eyes Wyvern. I know this card was a bit of a menace in Duel Links back in the old days, but this card in the TCG right now isn't too great. Basically, you cannot normal summon or set the turn you activate this card's effect, and during the end phase, it banishes itself to special summon a Red Eyes monster from your graveyard. At least it says Red Eyes Monster instead of just being Red Eyes Black Dragon, which makes it slightly better, but yeah, it's still not, good. That's still really slow in this day and age. Back in the day, that would have been a fine card, but in this day and age, that's really slow, really bad. Yeah, so going all the way down there. Next up, the first S tier, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Pre-errata, this card would easily be the best card in the entire deck, no questions asked. Post-errata, it's still top 3. This card is really good to the point that there's a nickname for it, Red MD, and, it's played in Dragon Link decks to this day. This card is crazy. Just it's so free and easy. I don't know. Next up, we got Malefic Red Eyes Black Dragon. I'll put this in either top of B or bottom A. Basically, if you control a field spell, you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing a Red Eyes Black Dragon from your deck. Just like, fine. It's a level 7 extender. That's really the entire reason it's okay. That's literally about it. The Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. It's worse than the Black Skull, so it goes there. Next up, the Return of the Red. Now, you can either rate this in terms of both draft and casual, like locals tournaments, and not draft, sealed and casual. This card would be like B tier. In terms of competitive, I would put it into like maybe C. Yeah, but in like casual, this card's crazy. This card would be like A tier in casual, but I think in like terms of actual competitive power these days, it would probably be in C. Basically, every single turn you get to resurrect a normal monster from your graveyard. Any normal monster, by the way, so you could randomly, you know, make it return to the blue eyes, I guess. And then if it's destroyed while face up on the field, you get to special summon any Red Eyes monster from your graveyard, which of course, if your opponent does that on their turn, attempt to pop it, you would just simply flip the card face up, and then it would resolve anyways. The reason it says face up is purely for if they pop it before you get the chance on your turn, like the turn you set it. I think I'll put it in C, though. Next up, Paladin of Dark Dragon. This card is pretty good. It tributes itself to special summon any Red Eyes monster straight from your deck. The only issue is the targets. You have like Gearfree the Red Eyes Iron Knight that maybe you would want to summon. Red Eyes Soul, which sure can get some burn in if there's already some setup on the field. Then you have like Red MD, but there's better ways of getting it. Red MD would still be your best target here, so maybe go ahead and get that. But yeah, the issue is just simply its targets. The Red Eyes extra deck monsters are definitely a lot better than its main deck monsters. Its main deck monsters are mostly extenders and things that don't actually have Red Eyes in its name. I was going to say and garbage, but it's just things that don't have Red Eyes in its name. Yeah. Its ritual spell is also kind of decent. I wish it didn't say except for the turn that it was sent to the graveyard, because even if it didn't say that, for the time, it definitely wouldn't have been good enough. Even now, it still would be like nichely played. You would play with like Foolish Burial Goods, maybe, to kind of have 3 more copies of Insight, but that's literally about it. Basically, it's just if this card is in your graveyard except for the turn it was sent there, you can banish it from the graveyard in order to add a Red Eye spell trap from your deck to your hand. Other than that, it's just the normal ritual summon. Next up, Lord of the Red. This card is crazy and more easily summonable now. It's a once per turn you can pop a monster, and once per turn you can pop a spell trap. It's in response to your opponent activating a card or effect, but whatever. That's just actually kind of good. It's 2 pops. Like, why would I not want that? It's sadly a fire monster, so while I would say it needs to pop like the IP or popping like the Fire King field spell, unfortunately it's fire. So if your opponent gets rid of this, it's a lot worse for you. Red Eyes Transmigration. This card ritual summons by banishing from the graveyard. I would have put it in D if this were like a month ago, but since this card just came out, it's the exact level to... sorry, it's not out in the TCG yet. I'm just ranking it because it's already a revealed card, and I already know how good it's going to be. Plus, I hadn't had the chance to talk about it yet. But yeah, so Transmigration, maybe technically a C, because you could just use this to summon this, but I'll for now keep it here. If at the minimum, because I believe it came out after Necroz, which if it did, then this card is terrible by comparison. So, Red Eye Sword. It's okay. It gives your monster a lot of attack points that it's equipped to. It's useful for the equip build, but the equip build isn't like too great. I mean, you could do like you could do a full Joey and do it with like Flame Swordsman Red Eyes, which works fine with Slash Dragon. Which, I mean, it's a fun way to play the equip build, but yeah. because a lot of the equip cards, I believe you can either equip to Gearfried or Slash. I don't remember which one. I do remember looking at it at some point. Plus, if this is equipped to Slash, you could resummon it out whenever Slash leaves the field. It's a fine card. Maybe like bottom B, top C. Yeah. Anyways, Red Eye Spirit. I'll put it like next to Return of the Red Eyes. I don't really know which one to put higher. So Red Eye Spirit I used to use it in tandem with like Red MD a lot. Way back whenever I first started going to locals and stuff. Basically I would just constantly resummon Red MD, link off Red MD, and reuse it. But now Red MD has an errata, that's a lot less efficient. So it's not nearly as good. However, there's a combo with Red Eye's Insight, Send Soul, Search Spirit, Summon Soul, Soul Burn. So, you know, do that. And it's an okay combo. Red Eye's Burn. Now, I didn't read this card until like just recently because I just remembered it being bad, but it's better than I remembered. Basically, if a Red Eyes monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target that monster, burn equal to its original attack. Now, it just says by battle or card effect. It never says whose card effect, so you can pop your own Red Ice monster and then burn your opponent, which is neat. It's neat. It's okay. I would consider it for the burn build, but yeah. Black Metal Dragon, this card's nuts. Any deck in the game would kill to have this card. I think it's the best searcher in the game. Technically, if it searched other archetypes instead of like it's locked into Red Eyes, obviously, so people could be like, well, no, like there's other searchers that are better because they search non-Red Eyes cards. But in terms of like what the searcher does, I think this is the best searcher in the game. It whenever it leaves the field, it adds any card from that archetype from the deck to the hand. It's easily recurable, as well as if you already, I don't know, summoned the normal summoned this turn, and you don't have a way of special summoning this from your hand, you can still equip this to any Red Eyes monster from your hand or field. It gives it 600 attack, and still once it leaves the field from that position, it still searches. It does a lot. Like, you could equip this from hand to Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight, pop it with Gearfried's effect to pop a spell trap, or reborn something from your graveyard. It's great. It's crazy. It does a lot. Black Sentinel Legend, I would place it higher if it had better targets, but the targets are literally just Red Eyes Soul, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight, I guess? Yeah, those are the only targets I would really even consider. But yeah, if it ever gets better targets, this card is really good. However, one card it does pair really well with is a card not even played in Red Eyes because it's not actually a Red Eyes card other than my name. Now, I do have to respect the Gemini cards real quick because there was actually a fair number of people that selected that they played Gemini. So, real quick. Red Eyes Archfiend of Lightning. I'll put it in like bottom C. So this card board wipes monsters whose attack are less. Whose defense are less than or equal to its attack. I think it's or equal to. Which doesn't work on Link monsters. Its attack does become higher if you use Black Metal Dragon to equip itself to it. It becomes 3100, so it can wipe out bigger monsters. Again, the issue is just that it's a Gemini. You need to normal summon an additional time, and again, it doesn't work on Link monsters, but it's a board wipe, which is technically fine. It's annoying that it doesn't work as fusion material from the deck for this idiot, but yeah. Red Eyes Flare Dragon. Now, the only reason that this even saw play was because it was a level 7 Red Eyes monster, and it was treated as a normal monster while in the graveyard, so it worked with like Return of the Red. But competitively, you don't really play Return of the Red anymore, and it being a level 7, that fact has been replaced by other also level 7 cards, if you even play cards of the Red Stone at this point. So, yeah. Next up, we have Red Eyes Archfiend. Red Eyes Archfiend Black Skull. Does it have Red Eyes in its name? It might just be Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. Anyways, D tier. So I had somebody argue to me that this card, the fact that I could say that, its protection effect isn't good in this day and age was sad. They were molding that Yu-Gi-Oh went to a bad place. However, I would argue that its protection effect was never good. The protection of whenever this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects was never good. You see, even for back in the day, you attack with a different monster, they mirror force that one. You summon this thing, you got Trap Hole, Bottomless Trap Hole. You are anywhere outside of attacking, you still got Compulse, Raigeki Break, Phoenix Wind Blast. There was just a lot of ways to out this if this card was printed in like 2002. However, this card was printed in, I believe, 2016, 2015, somewhere around there. And yeah, it definitely wasn't good at that point. Its burn effect also only takes place if it not only does damage calculation, if damage calculation is performed with this card, but it's also during the end of the battle phase that it actually does the burn effect. So if they do anything between that time to get rid of this, it still doesn't actually do its burn thing. So this card's just realistically just it's a big dude. That's kind of all it is. It's not great, not good at all. Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon, however, is a very good card. It has an entire build built around it. I personally would argue it is the best Red Eyes extra deck monster in Red Eyes. Probably because I played rank 7 as my build, but yeah, it's a non-once per turn. It's a one not hard once per turn as a revival effect. So you summon multiples of these, they all get to do their revival, and then every time your opponent activates a card or effect, you just get to burn them for 500, which, if you summon multiple of these, is a lot of burn damage. It's a really good card. Next up, cards with the red stone. I'm probably going to put it in like B tier. Basically, you send a level 7 Red Eyes monster from your hand to the graveyard, draw 2 cards, and then you can send one from your deck to the grave. The issue with this card is that the level 7 monsters that you're sending from your hand to the graveyard consist entirely of just Red Eyes Black Dragon, purely because you want alternative in your hand in which to summon it. I guess you could do Red Eyes Soul, but you're probably only playing that like one of anyways. Maybe, I don't know. I personally only ever play it as one of, but I guess you could argue for more than one of it. But yeah, and plus if you don't have a Red Eyes in your hand to send with it, it's kind of bricky. If you're searching a Red Eyes to send with it, then that's not great either. It's not great. It doesn't even go +1. It's literally just +0. It's fine, but it's not like amazing. I would only play it as like a 1 or a 2 of, but yeah. Anyways, Red Eyes Fusion. The card that I feel the need to state once again, you cannot normal or special summon the turn you activate this card. Yeah, it's really difficult not being able to normal or special summon the turn you activate this card. It's really crit. So in case you're curious, that short I made about Red Eyes Fusion, yeah, somebody opted to be like, hey, so forehead dumb poopy head, you know, you could just do your full combo and then activate this card because it's only you can't normal or special summon afterwards. And then I was just like, okay, did I like misread the card's effect out loud whenever I was making the video? No, I said the turn. Okay, well, was the text clear? Yes, you could read that it says the turn. Maybe instead of just yapping, you should either listen to or read or do literally anything instead of just acting like this card is Destiny Fusion, because it's not. Otherwise, it may have still seen play after like DP got released if it was just Destiny Fusion. What do you think was everybody's issue with this card to begin with? Like, what? Anyways, annoying commenters aside, just acting like they know better than to read card text, this card still is fine because you need it as a 3 of in the burn strategy because it makes the fusion monster's name become Red Eyes Black Dragon, so it makes it work with Inferno Fire Blast. But that's the only reason it's this high. If it didn't do that, I would probably put in like D or honestly maybe F tier. In case you're wondering, this came out after Shaddoll Fusion, which also fuses from the deck, but is better than this card. So, what the fuck, Konami? Anyways, Red Eyes Retro Dragon. Now, this card sucks. It's a debate whether to put it in bottom D or F tier. So its entire effect is to, if a Red Eyes monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's attack or opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand into defense position and summon back those monsters back to the position that they were destroyed in. So it's Time Machine, which is a Bandit Keith card. What? So its other effect is you contribute this card, normal summon a Red Eyes monster in addition to your normal summon set this turn. The issue is that the only good card to do that with is Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight, as the other two good normal summons in the deck are both don't have Red Eyes in the name. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you could tribute this card to normal summon one of your Geminis, but I could be incorrect. You can feel free to like leave a comment if I'm incorrect about that, and I'll put it in the pinned comment, because I sometimes pin comments. I'll make a pinned comment for it, but yeah. Anyways, this card's bad. It's just bad. Yeah. Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Now, once again, ranking in terms of a Toon deck, this is like A or B tier. It's a really good card. I haven't played too much Toon, so I can't say too much on it, but I know it's good enough for where they play like 2 or 3 Blackstone of Legend, just summon it. So, it's a good card. I believe it searches like their spells and traps or something, which their spells and traps... Oh wait, no. This is the one that summons a Toon monster from your hand, ignoring summoning conditions, I think. So it's their extender. So yeah, it's a good card. Anyways, the old Red Eyes Meteor monster. I would honestly rate it below Red Eyes Black Chick. This card sucks. This card is doo-doo caca dog water. So basically it does the, I believe it's Swap Frog. No, Dupe Frog. It was Dupe Lock, right? Yeah. Sorry, yeah, Swap Frog's the one that sends from the... Never mind. Yeah, I'm stupid. I believe it was Dupe Frog that has the lock on it. This card does that, but like 20 times worse. And it's on a Gemini monster that's already level 6. So that's a lot of hoops and hurdles you would have to go through just to make this somehow do the dupe lock. On top of, it doesn't actually prevent your opponent from attacking the monsters. It just says they can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. So your opponent can still hit your Red Eyes monsters. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Yeah, this is garbage. It's garbanzo. By far the worst Gemini in this deck. This card, however, the Meteor Black Comet Dragon, made that card worth it to play for a long time until we got a better one that we can use to summon this. This card is crazy. It sends on summon, it burns, it floats. I think it may have protection, but I could just be wrong about that. But like, even if it doesn't, it's still nuts. There's a reason. The reason that the burn build exists is because this card exists. This card makes the burn build. If this card didn't exist, the burn build just wouldn't even be in contention anymore. This card is nuts and definitely deserves to be S tier. Red Eyes Insight is another one you could argue S tier or A tier. See, the issue with Insight is that it doesn't have any like really good searches. It has some niche combos that are kind of neat to play. Like, you need to play 3 of this in the ritual build. You need to play 3 of this in the burn build, because it's like I said, you send Soul Search Spirit. Sorry, send spirits. Yeah, send Soul Search Spirit. Sorry, in my brain, Spirit and Soul are the same word for some reason. But yeah, you send Soul Search Spirit, Spirit summon Soul, Soul burn. good. It's good for the burn build because you can't summon other monsters the turn you use Red Eye's Fusion. So you do that to summon it on your opponent's turn, then burn. It makes it to where you can have one less Inferno Fire Blast in hand. And then for the ritual build, now you're sending this dude because he's level 8 and summoning and searching Red Eye's Transmigration. Transmigration banish this card from the grave to summon Lord of the Red. It is a good card. And just technically, if you think about it in terms of single searches, it doesn't have any like really good search targets, but it has some like niche combos that it can do for different builds. Now, this is the only card that I'm going to bring up the time period of its release. Red Eye's Baby Dragon was released in 2017 during like Firewall, during like they were doing grass with snow and like all the zombie crud. And what Konami felt like Red Eyes really needed was Mystic Tomato in 2017. Why? During one of the most high-power formats in history, they gave Red Eyes Mystic Tomato. Its effect procs if it's destroyed specifically by battle. It's still better than Retro, I think, but what the heck, Konami? Like, why? Why Mystic Tomato? Yes, sure, it has another effect once it does that Mystic Tomato thing. But you're not doing the Mystic Tomato thing because it needs to be destroyed by battle. Your opponent's not going to let that happen. They're either not going to attack it, or they're going to see that you're summoning it and trying to swing, read the card real quick, and then just remove it by either card effect or card effect or more cards effects, or they can also, I believe, just stop the effect. Hold up. Let me check if this effect just stops if it's DD Crowed real quick. Hold up. Because I know it... Hold up. If you do equip this card from your graveyard to it... Okay, no, it summons first. It's just... Wow, this card sucks. It sucks. It's frustrating how much it sucks. Gear for the Red Eyes Iron Knight was a fine support card, actually, in that wave. So... Basically, if you equip a thing to it, you can either pop that thing to destroy a spell trap your opponent controls, or you can hold on to that equip and use its second effect as a quick effect to special summon any Red Eyes monster from your graveyard. It extends, you're mostly sending Black Metal Dragon, so it does the search after that. Yeah, it's a fine card, it's a fine card. Excuse me, sorry. I may put it like there-ish. I think I would consider playing Gearfried as at least like a 1-up to summon off the Blackstone of Legend. It's fine. Yeah. Anyways, Red Eye Slash Dragon, I would put it like here-ish. Because I think that's mostly where the equip build just belongs. Like, you could argue that the Red Eye's Black Dragon Sword also belongs there. But, yeah. Slash Dragon is... Excuse me, sorry, whenever it attacks, it equips a warrior to it from the graveyard against 200 for each of them. If your opponent targets a card you control with a card effect, you can remove one of the cards equipped to it to negate the activation. And also, if this card is removed from the field, you just special summon all the monsters that were equipped to it. It's pretty solid, it's just, you know, it does stuff with warriors, which isn't really what Red Eyes is about, which is why I said the build can kind of work with like Flame Swordsman, as I believe they have some cards that can equip to the Red Eyes cards. You could also play it with maybe Infernoble, but yeah, it's a fine card. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Red Eyes Fang Chain, it's one of the few main deck interactions that this entire deck has. It's it basically is a quick effect relinquished for any of your monsters, which is fine. And if you end up not needing to do that during your opponent's turn, you could also keep it around, make it to where one of your monsters can attack twice during your turn, which is also fine. Yeah. Anyways, Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon. This card sucks. It's I'm not sure why they released it in the year that they did release it, because it's bad. Basically, if any zombie monster is destroyed by battle except for this card, you can target one zombie monster in either player's graveyard, special summon it to your field as a hard once per turn, which, based on the years of everything being released, would have been released in about 2018, I think. I don't remember the exact year it's released, but it's between a 2019 card and a 2017 card, so I'm assuming 2018-ish. Yeah, this card sucks, especially for the time it came out. It's just bad. Darkness Metal, the Dragon of Dark Steel, I think is the name. I'll say B tier, even though that actually physically like inflicts pain upon me to say B tier. But people pointed out that the combo to make Triple Flare Metal Dragon still works even after Pisty got banned, which I didn't realize that still worked. It still sounds really terrible on paper because you need 3+ monsters. You cannot special summon Link monsters at all the turn after you activate its effect, so you can't even like Monster Reborn any of them. And all it does is summon one monster from your banishment or graveyard. So it's like bad, but I guess it's useful for the combo, so I'm putting it in B. Anyways, Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragons. It's like the second best extender in the deck. It's better than the Malefic one. Although it's also needed for the combo, I believe. But yeah, it just sends a Red Eyes Black Dragon from your hand to the graveyard to summon itself, which is fine. It's fine. Actually, I would guess maybe you could argue the Malefic is better because every field spell you would consider playing is fairly searchable, but it banishes Red Eyes, so there's like a give and a take. The second effective alternative is never going to come out. It just declogs your hand of a Red Eyes and summons itself as a level 7, which is good. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is really hard to place. Basically, yeah, it's just really hard to place. So, because, like, it was played heavily because of Verte. Verte is banned. So the only way you're actually summoning it now is Red Eyes Fusion, which, in a pure Red Eyes deck, is like plan B at best, but if you're playing it in like a trap deck, it's fine. So I guess for Red Eyes, I'll put it in B tier, because like I said, it's like plan B. Basically, if you don't open up anything else to do, you just activate Red Eyes Fusion to summon Dragoon, I guess? I don't know. I really don't know. The Red Eyes Zombie Dragon Lord. Okay, I'm gonna be real. I'll put it above those two at least. In case you couldn't tell, I've ran through this a couple times trying to like get the video down shorter, and I just keep putting it at the end here because I don't bother placing these ones very thoroughly. But Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord, I'll say is better than Archfiend at least. Basically, during your opponent's turn, you can res a zombie monster out of your graveyard, which I believe works fine with Baladrock. Let me like double check real quick. But yeah, you just summon something during your opponent's turn. Yeah, this isn't a hard once per turn, right? You can only use each of the. Why? Wait, you can. Wait, you can only use this. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Its revival effect is only once per turn. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's just not good. You can banish a zombie. It's either banish or like tribute a zombie monster to a special summon that's back from the graveyard. It's just not good. It's never seen play in zombies even, so I don't know. Red Eye Soul, I'd put it like down here as well. It's good for the burn strategy, but that's pretty much about it. Okay, you can put it as a one of in technically any deck with a triple insight, one of this, one of spirit. Like that's technically a combo you can put into any Red Eyes list, but yeah, it just burns. It's once per duel. I don't know. The new Meteor one, it's a really good card. It's actually a very good card. It summons itself by sending any normal monster from the deck to the graveyard, I believe, and becomes level 7 once it does. However, in the deck, it's still a level 6 with Meteor in its name. So you can still summon the Black Comet Dragon with it. from your hand or deck using Red Eyes Fusion, so it's still good for that. And then, of course, it has the effect to banish itself from the graveyard, add Red Eyes Fusion from deck to the hand, except for the turn it was sent there for some stupid reason. But, yeah. And then last but not least, certainly not least, the best card Red Eyes has ever seen. Whew, this card is good. This card is so good. Basically, Black Metal Dragon can search this, you reveal it, shuffle it back into the deck, and grab yourself the Metalmorph card. You activate the Metalmorph card, either attributing one of your extra dragon monsters that you have left over during your turn, or attributing a monster that has already served its purpose, like if Dragoon has already used all its negates or something. You attribute that to summon this out of the deck is an Omni Negate that burns equal to your opponent's highest attack point monster, which is really good. It goes perfectly with the burn strategy. You'd play, like, I think 3 there purely because it would be much less searchable. You would play at least 2 of it in the ritual strategy because it's level 8. So, again, the thing I was saying about Red Eye's Insight. Then you'd play at least 1 of in every other build because it's really, really good. It's very good. It's such a good card. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, if y'all feel like you know better about any of these takes, you can feel free to post your arguments down in the comment section below. If anybody actually convinces me that some of these cards are better or worse than I put them, I will edit my tier list. I will alter the list to make it more towards what y'all have convinced me of. But, yeah, because I would like to keep my list as accurate as possible. But anyways, people, if y'all enjoyed the video, please do like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If y'all have any ideas on what I should do next, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. Anyways, without further ado, I'll see y'all later.